Good morning, good evening, whenever you like. It's Brando and Angle, accountable on the mic. We talk hunting, truth, and accountability, so you get to listen wherever you may be. So sit back, fill your cup, and plug in your phones. What you're about to hear is rooted in their bones. Ew, ew, ew.
Was that rap or was that a Christmas carol? I'm not entirely
I
sure.
don't know, man. I'm a hillbilly.
That's more like, I don't know, that's like a rut rap.
Rap. Well, the rut is
A
on.
rut rap.
The rut is on.
Yes,
Or
sir.
is
Have
it?
you guys?
Is
What's
it
that?
on or is it or isn't it? Because it's lockdown, it's showdown, it's big buck down. It's kind of everything
It is.
right now.
From what I can see, it's a lot of big buck down. There's lots of good deer that have hit the ground this season, from what I've seen on social media, and friends and family have knocked some good ones down. So it's been good. How have your guys' seasons been this year?
Well, we were talking just off the record button. You guys are A squad, and I'm still waiting for an invite to the tree outs. So,
Yeah.
but all jokes aside, I mean, just whitetail hunting. I don't know, man. I have a knack for finding big deer and going crazy about them and losing my mind and getting frustrated and yeah, just lots of big deer on pictures. Not a lot of action. Had an encounter the other night. It was like milliseconds from shooting. Yeah, I mean it's been good though. It's frustrating. It sucked. I'm not gonna lie, but we can get into that one maybe a little later. Talk a little more positive to start the pod.
For sure. Well, do you want to start with Ty's archery buck from earlier this month, or what?
Yeah, I'd like to. If you don't mind, I'll key it up.
Sure.
For everybody listening, give a little backstory. We're teasing because me and Ty tried to record a hot seat and it turned into a cold seat because he wants to talk so much. So we couldn't pound it out. We're like, I don't know if that was good or not. Like I felt like it's like, yeah, we should probably redo that.
I think we texted for 2 days. Like, I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
Did you listen to it again? Because I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and there's nothing. I mean, I love it. I love that you're a talker. You're just probably never going to be a hot seat guy. You just have to do yes or no answers just to get to 30 minutes, probably.
or write it down in a hip hop.
Or write a rut track, a rut rap.
Got to make it into a song and then call it quits.
Exactly. But no, I'm going to tee you up because I'm just excited for you. I'm a proud brother and friend too, and I would say it's pretty cool. So for the listeners, like my brother gets these crazy ideas. He's done it this way his whole life. Not always did he execute them, and he talked about this. Well, I bought this TeePee and I'm going to do a wood stove and I'm doing a November trip with or without anybody, that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, here we go. Sure. See how long this lasts. And it lasted and you stuck through with it and you held yourself accountable to that, to your past, to everything. And you went through it with it. So, I mean, what he did was slept in a teepee with a wood stove on a cot in northern Alberta, chasing whitetails that he's been scouting for a year. And I think that's a pretty good intro to anybody listening, that like you can hunt these suckers any way you want to. It's very doable. You can do your own backcountry hunt without worrying about being chewed on by grizzly bears or wolves and stuff. So I don't know. I think that's a pretty good place to kick you off there, and I'll let you tee it up.
Yeah, well, I will state right off the hop, I'm very fortunate as a surveyor that I get to see a lot of backcountry. So this spot, I spend a lot of time in for work, so I've gotten to know it really well over the last 6 years or so, but I haven't really actually paid attention to it and what I was seeing until last year, really, where I was like, maybe there's something here. So, yeah.
So
I don't know.
I gotta ask you a question. Um, you've been in there for 6 years, never paid attention to it. I'm curious, genuinely, as a hunter, what do you mean you didn't pay attention to it? Because I would think I'd be looking like for sign everywhere. Like I do that anywhere I go. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what do you mean? How do you mean that? Or what did you start looking for to cause you to want to hunt it?
Well, I never looked at it like obviously I always noticed it, and I think I mentioned to you and Dad and that like, oh, there's a lot of whitetail in this area, and I'd send pictures of rubs and scrapes and have encounters, in the fall. But I never. That's kind of where it stopped. I never thought like, oh, I'm gonna hunt here. It's a long ways from home. It takes a committed effort. It's not like you get in your truck on Saturday morning and go hunt out here. There's a commitment value to it, so I never really thought much of it until the spring. This specific area I come across was actually just impossible to ignore. It painted a picture of the most extreme rut frenzy zone that you can imagine. Like, every 15 feet was a scrape, every 40 feet was a rub, and the trails were just everywhere. And it was like, I actually thought of finding ways to convince the oil company that there wasn't oil here and they shouldn't drill that well.
No, I scouted it. This doesn't look very good. I think you
Yeah,
guys should move
I was
on. Lots of
thinking of
nests in there and stuff. I saw like,
geez,
yeah, you
there's
guys can't work back there.
There's like 15 bear dens. You shouldn't go in there.
Yeah, I mean, you could pull that card if you really wanted to,
but yeah, I thought I would play it as kind of an opportunity. I knew where the road was going to be, where they were going to build it. I knew where they were going to drill from. I was able to strategically get in there in the evenings outside of work hours and pre-hang a ladder stand, get cameras set up, and check them and maintain them over the last 9 months. Just luckily still working kind of in the area, able to do that. So, and had right from, I think I hung my first camera in April, and from April on I had, I was getting 50 to 100 pictures a day of deer. Like, it was everything that I saw on the ground and was left over right until October.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I know Angle probably is going to be chomping at the bit for some of that stuff, but like, I do want to just rewind it a little bit, just for people listening. Let's say they're intrigued by TeePee hunting in the middle of nowhere. You're fortunate, you're blessed to work in the oil field industry and to be a surveyor and be the first guy there.
Yeah.
Not everybody's a surveyor. So how would you, how could you encourage or teach somebody to find a similar like area, mecca, on their own, right? Like, let's say Joe wants to go to northern Alberta in, I don't even know what zone you're in whatever WMU 5 something. And where do you start? How do you look? What could you key in on say Google or Onyx or iHunter to give a head start?
That's kind of tough. I think really from my perspective is when it comes to whitetail, Google and onX doesn't really help. Because everything's flat. Like you can see cut blocks and you can see things like that. You can sometimes pick out transitions, but you actually don't get a lay of the land till you're there. My biggest suggestion is if that's something that interests you, be willing to, go up in August with a tent, take your kid, pitch a tent, drive some roads, get out of the truck, go for walks, and just randomly go through walks in the woods. You're gonna find rubs. You're gonna find scrapes. You're gonna find trails, and it's kind of the modern world. There's almost nowhere that doesn't have cell service.
I know,
or enough service to get. There's actually, it's funny because you lose service when you get closer to the city. It seems sometimes, but
yeah.
But even if you don't have cell service, pop up some cameras, and it really comes down to doing homework. Like, if I didn't put up cameras, like if I found this area by chance, by random, but never actually put up cameras, I would have never known to go back. So you got to kind of get out there, walk around, explore, and use what you find. I'll give an example. Like I'm in another even more remote location that has even more sign of whitetail, and I'm actually I'm working through November, so I'm seeing them come across lines and dog and does and things like that. And this area doesn't have cell service, and it is too far. I'll probably, after this project, not be back, for at least a year. So, but I know it's there.
Right.
Right. So just by going out, pick a spot on a map in remote northern Alberta, the whitetail are pushing, I can confidently say that there is high populations of whitetail north of high level. Like these deer are pushing further and further and further north. It'll surprise you. So get out there and explore and do it kind of looking for not having much for expectations. Do it as an initial, let's get out, take the kid out, take the wife out, go out for a weekend, pop a tent up, and explore. I don't know if that's a good answer or not.
No, it's not. It's not what I was looking for at all, pal. I was looking for, you got to look for the transitions of foliage of, if you look on Google and you zoom in, no, I'm just kidding. You got to find that. No,
well,
it's good.
There is a lot of that, and obviously that does play factors. It's just tough. It's tough because all the information, I'm not quite there yet with having the understanding of all of that, because
right.
I'm typically, with my job, I'm boots on the ground. I don't stare at the topo maps, like the satellite stuff, as much.
Right.
I love the topo maps. I think they provide, like onX with their, not a plug, but onX has their topographic overlay showing you what's the word I'm looking for? You can just see topography.
Yeah.
I think it's a really easy way to find. Like I agree, Ty. There's no substitute for boots on the ground, but analyzing Google Maps, onX Maps, and utilizing the topography lines can help you target certain areas and be more effective when you do get to those places, instead of just wandering around exploring. You can be a little more focused in where you want to look.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay, I'll be that guy, and then I'll transition to Ingle. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for, like, I'll just kind of relate it back to, I guess, where I hunt. Lots of finger ridges, lots of saddles, lots of drainages. So I'm looking for
Like
topography.
deviation?
What's that, sorry?
Like deviation, like you.
Yeah, like lots of up and downs, lots of little fingers that kind of connect to different ridges. So I'm looking for that type of topography that allows deer to move through the land efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
That was the key to my hunt this year,
Mm-hmm.
was just understanding those topographic maps, understanding what the lines on the screen mean in real life, and how that can affect deer movement. And pretty much everywhere where I pinned, like, I believe deer are going to be like filtering through this area because of this ridge is connected to this ridge through this little finger. Pretty much played out exactly how I thought it was going to. Deer using it like crazy. So it's just a tool. I think it's a tool in the toolbox once you can understand the effectiveness of it to help you scout better on the ground.
Yeah, I like hearing both of you, because essentially, Tyler, your boots on the ground, probably Onyx tracking and doing all of that. You're literally mapping it out yourself.
Yeah.
And then you got Engel, who's like hours away, zooming in, pinching in, highlight, looking for whatever transitions. Those deviations where you got elevation changes, drops, looking for connection points, fingers, and you're looking from the bird's eye. Tyler's looking literally eye level. You're both doing the same thing in different ways, but getting the same result.
Yeah, I don't have the time. I don't spend the time in the woods that Ty does, because that's not I don't have that profession. I don't have that luxury to spend 60 hours a week in the woods surveying and actually seeing it on the ground. I don't have that luxury, so I have to figure out a different way to be as effective as possible with the time I do have.
Mm-hmm.
That's
See,
good.
I spend probably just as much time on Onyx, but it's open while I'm in the field. I find I have a hard time relating to Onyx, like, from my computer at home. I use it more of like marking things, measuring things.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get good at, like, I'm in the field and then I open Onyx and I look and I see what the tree type cover looks like. I'm starting to really understand, okay, now I can trust that if I zoom out 2 kilometers and go over there and it looks the same as what it looks like here, then that I can assume that that's what it is over there.
Yeah.
And I'm getting better at being able to read it, but I've actually failed every time I've used Onyx and been like, this looks good, and then I go all the way out there and I'm like, oh, this is crap.
Right.
But I do use it a lot in a sense of, like, I'll send screenshots of like route planning when we're scouting, new wells and things like that, and I'll use the line work tools and things like that, and I'll send it into my office, and they're like, how'd you do this? I'm like, oh, it's actually a hunting app. And they're like, what? Right? Like, but so it has Onyx is a very useful tool.
I think the easiest way, Ty, to probably like identify, or I'm just trying to help you through your challenges of reading types of bush, is to look at bush very, very well, and study that area, that aerial view of that area, and then you can kind of start applying that to different areas that you're trying to scout. That's how I would go about that, instead of being like, oh, this looks good, and then like going there and, to your point, it's a bust. You kind of have an idea of what.
For sure.
You know where I'm coming from there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, much like you, Engel, I've been forced to look at Onyx more than walking or driving, and
It's an
And
unhealthy amount that I've looked at Onyx and like
yeah.
stuff, like topography maps.
Well, and it's like, yeah, I'd say I've gotten quite good at recognizing now, you know, what this green shady stuff, what that is, and then usually the stuff that looks the best is always the worst. And I've accumulated that around here. That's like willows and thin poplar and stuff like that. So then you avoid that and you're looking for, those little clusters of trees. Typically those are like spruce patches, pine and stuff like that. And
what I'd like to note is when you're out there, everything that you find, and I mean everything, mark it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
When your boots on the ground, mark every scrape, mark every rub, mark every trail that you're walking. If it's a really good trail, track it. You will learn so much when you get back to your hotel. Well, for me, hotel, but you get back home and you open it and pan out. You can see almost and envision exactly what those deer are doing. And not only that, over the years that I've been in this probably 100 square kilometer range that I've surveyed up here in the last 6 years, is every year I go back into certain areas and there's a new scrape within X meters of the old scrape clusters. There's new rubs within X feet of previous rubs. They like to rub in the same places. They like to scrape in the same places. They like to travel the same corridors. So if you're marking those and keeping them, you can set yourself up for some pretty good success.
yeah, you're increasing your odds for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Which is really what it all comes down to. And I guess maybe we'll transition into that, Ty. Like we'll kind of pick up where we left you with the idea and the concept and springtime, and you started getting some smoker bucks coming in velvet, and why don't you pick her up there?
Well, I think before we started the pod, you wanted to talk about the whole why I decided to invest all of my hunting into a TeePee for 10 days.
Sure, yeah,
right?
man, give her on that.
Yeah, so the ultimate thing on it is I get frustrated really easily, and I'm
no, you come on, what? No way.
And honestly, I've been so tired of having to gain permission year after year, compete with other hunters, compete with neighbors, compete with just compete. And it's like, it finally hit me this April when I found this spot. It's like, I can come here and nobody will bother me. I don't have to ask for permission. I don't have to beat a guy to it. But I have to be willing to grind. And that I was willing to do. So, yeah, I found the spot in April. I think in May I ordered the TeePee. I had the stove already for my other tent that I never used, and the cot and everything. So I told you and Dad, this is what I'm going to do. And you guys were like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And stuck to it. And I'm super happy I did. And I don't know that I'm going to go back to close to home hunting outside of trying to, involve my wife.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I want to just hear all about the hunt yet, or no, I don't. Not yet. Unless you want to, Engel.
What was that, sorry?
I said, I don't know if I want to hear all about the hunt yet or not. And I said, I don't think I do. What about you?
Let's keep going.
Because I kind of wanted to, like, maybe, Ty, if you don't mind, like, just chat about your experience with the tent. Was the TeePee, did it hold value? Did the stove hold value? like talk about those things, like those details
Yeah.
of what that experience was like.
I quickly
Like
realized,
temperature, like all of that, right? Temperature,
yeah.
everything.
I I I started feel I got about an hour and a half away from where I was gonna camp, and it kind of hit me that holy crap, uh, I'm doing this, and yeah, there's definitely challenges doing it solo. Um, but as far as the gear, the tent I ordered from Amazon, I think it's a company called One Fires. It's a 12-foot radius TeePee. The tent itself held up fantastic. I didn't have any kind of moisture leakage. I had multiple days of 50, 60 kilometer winds. Never once felt like it was coming down, or it was never really whipping and flapping in the wind.
Mm.
The stove, on the other hand, yeah, I'm not doing a wood stove going forward. I will be buying a diesel heater,
Okay.
simply for the fact of being solo. Um, you need a lot of wood, and collecting wood takes time away from hunting, and it plays a guy out.
Right.
And if you don't have good wood, it's gonna bite you, and it bit me bad. I had lots of nights and days where I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it burning hot enough to burn out the creosote in the, just kept building up, and it got to the point where the night that I killed my buck, I got back to camp late, and I could not get heat, and it was blizzarding bad. It was cold. It was miserable, and I ended up having to have both my doors open, pull the stove completely apart, break it down,
Oh, jeez.
clean it apart. I didn't get to bed till I didn't eat dinner or get to bed until 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So
How
it was
big is your stovepipe coming out? Like what's the diameter of that pipe?
it's like 3 or 4 inches.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little stove.
Yeah.
I thought I was being smart, so over the last couple of months, you when they clear out these new pads, a lot of times they take the good burnable birch and they set it aside for the locals and for the
Right.
crews working on it, and they take it home. And I took a bunch and then dropped them off because I knew where I was planning on camping, and I dropped them off, and I thought, this is great. It's birch. It's gonna hold its value and heat. It's gonna burn slow. Won't have to stoke the stove as much. And it was good wood. But the week before I arrived, they got a dump of like a foot and a half of wet snow, and it saturated the birch.
Mm.
And my first 2 days was trying to deal with burning wet birch, which was not fun.
Mm.
So then I went and cut a bunch of pine, and that was good wood, and it was good for the next like 36 hours. But I was still putting the birch in at night when I went to bed, thinking it's fine that it smolders because it keeps the coals hot and won't have to stoke it as much, not knowing that I was clogging up my pipe.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot. Like thankfully I had service in camp, and at 1 o'clock in the morning I found a YouTube video that says to burn your aluminum cans, which oxidizes the creosote and turns it to a powder, and it'll blow out the chimney.
No way.
Yeah, and that actually worked. Yeah, I threw a bunch of energy drink cans that were in
What?
my recycling bag, and within a half hour it was like the stove was like I looked outside and there was flames shooting out the top. I was
What?
like, okay, finally, yeah.
Interesting. There's a hot tip.
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of a hot tip. But yeah, the stove takes up so much room because you got to have all your firewood in your tent. The stove's in the center of the teepee, so I really only had room for my cot. And Dad mentioned he's like, Amazon for $200 you can get a diesel heater, and it's got a thermostat on it. It's dry heat, and it gives you access to your whole tent. because there's nothing in the middle and there's no firewood pile. So
Mhm.
I'll definitely go that route. Yeah, so it had its challenges for sure. You know, you bring in another guy, and there would be, you know, there'd definitely be room for two. You bring in another guy, the other guy can be chopping firewood, the other guy can be cooking dinner, cleaning up, whatever. You got two people working at it, and when it's just you, and you're trying to hunt from, you know, sunrise to sunset, and still eat and stay warm, it's a lot of work. For sure, it's a lot of work. I played myself out pretty good.
But rewarding.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
You know, like I'm just thinking out loud for myself. Even if you didn't, you know, kill a buck, the fact that you did it, like that's an experience of its own too, right? Not like you might not do it again, but to say you did it.
I was gonna say, let's be honest, I wouldn't do it again.
No, but to say you did though, right? Like you know what to expect now.
For sure, I know I can make changes and
yeah.
improvements and
Yeah.
yeah.
That's sweet. That's sweet. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that sleeps in a teepee in the bush in November for whitetail with a bow at that.
With a bow, yeah. No.
So
I didn't actually
hats off to you, sir.
I honestly didn't think anything of it until everybody else started saying like, "Wow, you're hardcore," and I'm like, "Holy crap, maybe I'm a little hardcore."
Maybe I'm a little hardcore.
I didn't. Yeah, it took 2 days to realize like maybe I bit off more than I can chew. But I got through it, and next year will be better.
Well, those are like good character building things too, right? Like if you don't try hard stuff, you just always stay soft, you know? Like you can't. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like character building of even being by yourself, going to bed by yourself, waking up by yourself, dealing with the cold, dealing, you know, getting your food and still hunting. Like that's character building stuff right there.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can't get a hard-boiled egg without throwing it in hot water.
Right?
So.
Is that a proverb?
Yeah. It should be.
Should be. Should have been.
Should have been.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. Yeah. Well, I think we should just hear about the hunt, because what's the backstory? You've shot a deer 20 years ago with a bow.
Yeah.
And then you just started bow hunting
3 years ago.
Yeah. You killed a bear. You nicked an elk this fall.
Yep.
And then you put the hammer down. Let's hear about it.
Almost didn't. Almost put the bow away. Yeah, like that was kind of the other part of this whole purpose was, I kind of knew I was in a highly populated whitetail area, and where I placed my stand and had my camera, I was getting a lot of activity, and I had confidence that anything can happen in November, and especially for bigger game, like bigger bucks and things like that. Anything can happen, and I really, really, really wanted to arrow my first whitetail. So the plan was always to archery hunt. After 3.5, 4 days of sitting stand and not seeing anything, nothing coming through my peripherals while I'm in my stand, I was getting pretty discouraged, especially with other cameras popping off of deer, and nice bucks. Like I had some smokers on, to the east of me a couple miles. And I knew there was some pretty harsh weather incoming, So the morning that I got that buck, I decided to abandon the stand and go sit a line with my rifle. I had 2 days left to hunt, but I knew this weather was coming in. Things weren't going to be fun. Definitely, sitting in a tree stand in a blizzard, not ideal. So I really wanted to get it done on day 5. And I abandoned the tree stand and I went and sat the line, and I didn't have any cell service where I was sitting. I sat till almost noon and thought, you know what, I'm going to go walk a couple hundred yards to where I know there's a little bit of service. And as soon as I got there, it's like my cameras are set to instant. And as soon as I got there, I get a ping from Spy Point. And I've got deer at my tree stand. And I'm like, of course, the day I'm not there.
Isn't that just how it goes down, eh?
Yeah. So I boogied. I really hauled ass to get back to the truck, get over there. I forgot my tree stand harness. I was so flustered. My GoPro fell off of my chest pack. It's like magnetized there. Didn't notice. Lost my GoPro. Yeah, a lot of things were going wrong on the way in. Didn't eat. I think I had a pepperoni stick on the way over there. But I knew I had to get in the stand because it's November. There's always a buck behind a doe, at some point. And the evening was fire. I got in my stand and it was like every 20 minutes I had a different group of deer come through. I had a cruising fork-horn buck come through that I would have shot. And I'll state too, I'll have to go back, is I had a lot of really good bucks on camera over 9 months. And I had some targets in mind. However, I was not going to be picky because I would just want to release an arrow. And so it was like, in my mind, I kind of knew if it's with my bow, if it's got a frame, I'm flying an arrow. If it's with my rifle, well, it's got to be better than anything I've shot.
Right.
So this fork-horn came through, and I couldn't get him to stop. Well, he stopped, but not in a shooting lane, and just carried through. He wasn't interested in bleeding, grunts. And when he left, I couldn't get him. I couldn't rattle him back in. And then I had
just 1 sec. Isn't that interesting though? Me and Engel were talking about this. You got a cruising buck. He's searching. You give him the sounds, all of them, and they don't give a crap.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
And there's no way he didn't hear it. Like he stopped at a couple of the grunts and looked around. And my bleat can is louder than what I was grunting, so he had to have heard it.
Yeah, it's just an interesting thing.
Yeah.
We think it comes to what we were saying, that we think it's just purely they're just looking for those pheromones just to hit the nostrils. It's not even about sounds anymore. They just want to smell it and taste it.
Could be. Yeah. Could be.
Like, Engel, you sleeping over there?
I'm still here.
Okay. Just wasn't sure if you're sleeping or what.
Mm-hmm.
Super quiet. So you had the forker come through, and then
he came through, and then like 20 minutes later, caught some movement to my left, and thought it was 2 does. Ended up being a couple little button bucks, and the whole time I'm kind of like speaking to the Lord about it. Like that fork-horn came by, and I was like, oh, why couldn't you stop him for me? I would have shot. Send me some more, and then these little button bucks come through, and I'm like, got to be bigger than that. And then 20 minutes later, a doe, and like a very frequent doe with her 2 fawns. They're on my camera every day, almost the same time. They came through, and I was like, okay, sorry, maybe I asked for too much. And then nothing. And I was actually at the point, it was legal shooting light was till 5:22. It was 5:02. And I thought, you know what, with the struggles I've been having with my stove and stuff, I'm just going to get down, get out of here with enough light to see, not have to turn my headlamp on and get back to the truck and whatever. And I packed everything up in my bags. I just started pulling up my rope string to hook my bow up, and movement caught my attention out of my right eye. I look up and I see a little frame of this buck, and he's like 30 yards out in a shooting window. So I grab my bow, and in my other hand I bleeded at him because he started to move. So I bleeded at him, and then he took off. And I couldn't help but think about that. Was it 2 years ago when we were hitting the hoochie mama and we scared that bull away? Like he ran from us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the heck? But he ran, and like 2 seconds later, some does popped out, and I was like, oh, I really quickly clued in, like he's pushing does around. So I watched them, and I watched them, and I watched them, and it's like I kept looking at the time. I'm like, I'm running out of time, and I don't know what it was, but I realized that it's a small buck. There's two does. They're running from him. So I started grunting, and it actually brought the does to me because they clearly wanted nothing to do with him. They heard the grunts and came back towards me, and this buck followed, and I think I probably had 6 minutes left to shoot, and I thought he was just a little basket 3, like an 80-inch deer. And I stopped him with a quick map and released. And now I'm hooked for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Some excitement here. That's pretty like blah because you shot.
Oh,
smoked
wow. Okay,
him.
So smoked
He
him.
dropped.
He dropped like I hit him with a 300 mag. Like
Yeah.
dropped instantly. I thought I hit him high, but I could actually see my arrow in his shoulder, and he just laid there. And I thought to myself, can't be that easy. And then like 10 seconds later, he stood up and took off like a bat out of hell. He turned and he ran directly at me. I thought he was going to run into my ladder stand. And as he passed by the stand, my arrow popped out, and then I heard a bunch of crashing, and I look over and I could see him rolling into the darkness. Yeah, it was wild. I wish I could have had that on film, but
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we made you video. Yeah. And then you texted. Text chat blew up.
I texted both you guys. Shot fired. And you both were like, "What?"
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, because like precursor too, like as soon as you said there was does there, you were texting us in the group chat, and we're like, "It's happening today. Like it's happening tonight. You're killing a buck tonight. It's happening. Yeah. It's happening." And I know you're trying to like, you don't want to get all fired up because then it's always that, oh, it's gonna happen tonight, and then you're the guy walking out. No, nothing happened.
Didn't happen, yeah.
Right? Yeah. But like, when it's just, I knew it was gonna happen. Engel knew it was gonna happen, and then and then we got you to video chat us doing the recovery, and that was pretty sweet to see that with you first time. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was never done that before, so that's never forget it. Yeah, and of course I walked up to it expecting a new set of small rattling antlers or something, and he had a bunch of junk and was much nicer than I thought he was. So it's not very often that happens, that they're better than what you thought you shot. So
it's pretty cool buck. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty neat.
He's funky for sure. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Very unique. Yeah, got basically a double beam on one side and
With
a
the
little
flyer, right? The
and
flyer's
a
on
little
that side
yeah, a
too.
little flyer drop deal on that same side. Yeah,
That's
but
sweet, dude.
yeah, and then the work began, and I had like 12% battery on my phone. It was pitch black. A long ways from the truck. Yeah, I elected to drag them through the woods to the road, which was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, and quarter them kind of at the road where I could charge my truck and knew I could communicate with everybody and get the job done clean and proper and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's like for those who don't know, like if you're in the backwoods and you're quartering a deer, and Angle, you can touch on this because you just did it too. But minus dragging it the distance I did, it's about a 2-hour process to
Yeah.
field quarter a deer.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All like from start to finish. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
hour
and
45, 2 hours, somewhere in there. Yeah.
and I don't know about you, but for me, it was everything I had in me to straighten my back after. Like, yeah, I think I walked at a 45-degree angle for 15 minutes before I could straighten my back again. But it's yeah. Yeah, and then I got back to camp and I didn't have a stove working in a blizzard.
Perfect timing.
So,
Hey, like,
yeah.
I don't know. Can't really write that story up any better. It's a pretty cool thing. Proud of you.
Mhm.
Congratulations on
Thank you.
sticking a deer with your bow. I mean, that's hard
There's
to do. It's
nothing
hard to
like
kill
it.
anything with a bow, and to accomplish that is pretty sweet.
I wish everybody, period, could experience it. Even the non-bow hunters. Just, it's one thing to watch. It's if you like watching bow hunting, just if you can kind of try to imagine be the shooter. It's I would think I'd be just as jacked at a doe. Like it is man, that was wild. That was It's hard to beat.
It's
Yeah.
hard to
And
beat.
it was
and
just
hard to
as
put it
exciting.
north.
It was just as exciting as having that bull scream at me 20 yards away
Mm.
while I'm at full draw.
Nah, you're crazy.
No, to me it was.
Yeah, you got problems.
Oh, well.
Just kidding.
Well,
That's
I didn't
not
get.
even, it's not comparable. That's kidding.
Well, I didn't get the elk though.
Oh, I know. I know. I'm just teasing. Like,
Yeah.
because no, I get what you're saying. I totally do. It's just a screaming bull. I'll take that over shooting anything any day. So.
Well, I guess people don't know about that. We haven't even done our.
No, we haven't capped that off. We just kind of let that one fizzle away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in the off season when we'll have plenty of time to. There's a lot to talk about elk too, but but the whitetail is primarily, let's be honest, what most people are hunting, and well,
I don't know about I don't know about your guys' area, but it's November 18th. And the deer are absolutely stupid this far north. Like, just, yeah. Could, like, as a rifle hunter, sitting a line with a set of rattling antlers, it probably couldn't be any easier than right now.
Yeah. Back half of the second week and the third week in November every year. It's the glory days.
Yeah. This next 2 weeks is what I look forward to. Honestly, and the week we're in right now is the one where I question everything about my existence and knowledge of whitetail hunting. I just get so frustrated and so down and out. But definitely next week and the week after. And I've always wished that I could hunt in December, that first week of December. That's always, camera wise and everything else, that's when at least at me anyways, I see the most activity, and I think that's just out of sheer desperation out of the Bucks part. But yeah, these next 2 weeks are my favorite. So
yeah,
I found something that I didn't know existed today. I found a snow scrape.
Huh?
Yeah, I found it, and I haven't posted it on Instagram yet, but I found a scrape where the snow was so deep that he didn't even bother touching the dirt.
Really?
And you can see 3 different deer have come in, and instead of going right to the dirt, they just tried to kick the other deer, the peak, as you can see it's yellow in the snow. They just kicked theirs out of the way and then left their scent, and the licking branch is still there and everything. But it's like 8 inches above the dirt in just snow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was blown away when I saw it. Yeah.
Neat. I mean, it makes sense. Why dig so deep?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's years where there might be 3 feet of snow by now, right? Like, what would they do to mark their scent, right? So
make a snow angel.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's a good question. Do deer make snow angels in northern Alberta?
Ask Siri.
Fact check it.
Mm-hmm. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, you heard it here. Deer make snow angels, northern Alberta.
Yeah.
That's sweet, dude.
I hope I did better this time rather than the hot seat.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, the thing with the hot seat, like, and of course we only tried it once, and there's going to be, bumps and bruises and stuff like that. But trying to condense a pretty big moment into 20 minutes it's tough to get all the details, right? And I'm sure you're missing some, and later you'll be like, I should have said this or talked about that or whatever. But it's just hard to condense it, and and that's more of a story to be told.
Yeah. So. I could talk for 2 hours just about camp things, right? Like, I learned a lot about gear and preparedness. Like, I went very I roughed it. Like, I only brought canned food. Didn't have a barbecue, didn't have a stove. That was half the battle. I was planning on cooking off of my wood stove, but my wood stove wasn't really working the way I wanted it to. So that didn't really quite pan out. Wasn't able to really boil water to wash properly. Yeah, it was in that sense was kind of a failure. Forgot to bring a tarp for my floor, so the first 3 days were just muddy muck. Had to use all the wood chips from chopping firewood to spread around into the mud to soak up, to try and have a clean tent, right? Like, so there's improvements to be made and things to pack going forward. Yeah, it proved harder than I envisioned, but still enjoyable.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. And then Engel did the opposite. You didn't camp at all.
No, I did not camp.
No,
you drove a lot.
You were a part-time trucker. Could have opened a trucking company, and
I should have been charging.
did some hot shot while you're hunting.
I don't know who to charge, but I should have been charging somebody by the mile. Yeah. It was a grind. It always is a grind. The whitetail hunt is never easy. It never goes as planned. and it kind of rang true again this year. Yeah, I guess to kind of give a little backstory, I took 2 weeks off this year. Never done that in my life for a whitetail. A little bit unheard of for me, but yeah, I didn't really have like I wanted to shoot a good whitetail. There wasn't, I guess, coming into the season, I don't have access to. I don't really get up there, I guess, like Ty does to scout ahead of time. So my plan going in, I guess, was to do a lot of scouting, walking, and intel work in that first week, and then kind of really settle in, hunt hard the second week. So like kind of what we touched on earlier there, I did a lot of e-scouting, and I know this bush like the back of my hand almost. But still did my e-scouting, still kind of did my top 5 stand locations that I wanted to put stands in, and went out there in the first week and kind of hit all those spots and made a decision from there as to what areas had the most promise, and kind of hung my stands from there. I did also explore a different area just 4 or 5K away that showed some promise on the old Google Maps there. So I did hang some cameras in there, and yeah, it was just a good week of intel, kind of getting some inventory work done, what's in the area, what's moving around. And honestly, for the first 3.5 days, it was brutal. I was questioning myself, kind of like QRB.
Yeah.
I know the deer are there, they just weren't showing up on camera. And so, I think I told you that a bunch of times. I'm like, yeah, I'm not seeing the deer, but I'm not worried. Like,
Yeah.
the bush is so big, and you're looking through a fisheye lens of
Yeah.
like a sliver, a pinhole of what's actually there. So my spirits weren't dampened. I know how this goes, and I just kept grinding away, and by about Wednesday last week, I started seeing some bucks show up on camera, some does. I I have a couple cell cams out there. I put them all on scrapes. I just think the bucks were kind of with those first does that were coming into estrus. They weren't really like hitting scrapes anymore, because that's more of like a communication, territorial type thing. So when the does come into estrus, the scrapes I don't think get hit as hard. They still get obviously hit. There's still communication going on, but it's not it's not the first thing on their mind, right?
Yeah.
But I think after that first round of does kind of got taken care of, that's when I started seeing bucks traveling, bucks hitting scrapes. Again, they were kind of freshening up their scrapes, and I got some really good deer on camera, especially in that new area that I've never hunted before. And that kind of tripped me up a little bit, honestly. Because when it came to this past weekend, I spent a lot of time chasing those deer, and it's property I don't really know all that well. I don't know how to hunt it yet. I don't know how to approach it. And I just felt like I wasn't hunting it effectively. I felt like I was just in there on a hope and a prayer, and it just didn't feel right, like I didn't have any confidence in where I was hunting there.
Like just forcing the hand, hoping for a big deer, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was forcing the hand. I was doing some, these deer are big for a reason, and I just felt like being in there, not knowing exactly how to hunt it, I just felt I was doing more harm than good at that point. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like take my lumps and just not hunt it anymore. And then obviously, like, I'll kind of fast forward to this weekend. This weekend past, Friday night, I get like 50 pictures of 2 just giants hitting the scrape in the like early in the morning, like 4 in the morning. And I was like, okay, like I have to go there. Like I just have to go there. And I went in there, and that feeling never changed. Never did see any deer. And I just was like, I had to like really take a step back, and I put my stands in my spots for a reason. They're proven. They're in high volume, high traffic areas, and it's just like I got to spend my time in the areas I know, and something good will happen. And I think I texted you, B. I was walking out of uh, that area that just I didn't have any confidence in, and I was like, I guarantee you, when I come to service, my cameras are gonna pop off of my stand. And sure enough, I got a clean 5x5 show up at noon at my stand, and
Mr. Clean?
Mr. Clean, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we dubbed him. He's a perfectly typical 5x5.
Perfect.
Like, I literally don't think he'll have more than like 2 inches of deductions. So I was like, you know what, screw this, I got to get over there. So went over there, got in my stand. I think we got in our stands at the same time. It was like 2:00.
Yeah.
And within 35 minutes, I had Mr. Clean at like 58, I can't remember, 58 or 68 yards. And I realized he wasn't what I thought he was. Like, seeing him through the scope versus on camera, I'm like, okay, like I know it's the same deer, but he's just not quite there. And I think I texted you. I was like, yeah, I just passed Mr. Clean, and you couldn't believe it.
I was like, what?
You're going to stand for like 20 minutes. And yeah, so just, he did exactly what I thought those deer were doing. Like, they were cruising ridges, using the wind in his favor to just kind of scent check all the drainages. And I think, to your point, I think you touched on it there. I grunted at him. I bleated at him. He looked, but he didn't give two craps about it. He just was on a mission to find whatever he was looking for, and he didn't care. I could have. There's nothing I could do. The only thing I didn't do was rattle at him. Maybe that might draw him in, but
maybe.
I mean, he was 70 yards. I didn't need to bring him in like a bow, like I'm bowing,
No.
right? So yeah, he kind of moved off, and the next deer that came through was on the ridge to the west, and he actually came right down into the bottom. And I threw my scope on him. I knew he was a good deer, and I just seen a wall of tines. Like, he's a 6x6, and he was kind of walking through some, I'm gonna call it, like, air quotations here, like river bottom, like a lot of blowdown, willowy stuff. And I stopped him in an opening at about, I think it was like 78 or 79 yards, something like that is what it ended up being. And he looked at me, and I kind of eyed him up, and I'm like, hey, it's now or never. And I decided to take him, and yeah, I shot him, and I watched the impact through the scope, and he just stood there. Like, he just took it like nothing happened. And I was like, did I miss? Like, did I actually miss this deer? And so I racked another one, and as soon as I got back on him, he just tipped over. Right there, he didn't even take a step. But yeah, no, it was really good, and it just kind of proved my point. Like, I guess I should preface this I should back up a little bit. And I just wanted to touch on the trail cam aspect of this, because I think we talked about it like a year ago about trail cameras and how they're not everything.
Yeah.
They're just a sliver of what's going on. I sat Thursday for 7 hours. I saw 6 different bucks cruise that drainage, all within 100 yards of my stand. All I could shoot every single one of those deer, and not a single one went past my camera, or any of my cameras for that matter. So it just kind of shows, it proved again that just because you're not seeing something, your scrapes aren't active, or you're not seeing deer pass through, you're not seeing bucks chasing bucks chasing does on camera, doesn't mean it's not happening, and you're not in a good area.
No,
it just reconfirm that for me.
Yeah, it's a huge point. We talked about it a lot with like the Buzz story last year, which if anybody's new or you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend that one. That was a really good storyline, good everything, and gave lots of information too. But yeah, we talked about trail cams a lot, like, you know, how you could, if you base it off of your trail cam, you could think it's dead, and then you don't even go hunt. But meanwhile, they're literally cruising behind your camera or to the side of your camera, and it's an absolute rut frenzy. I mean, yeah, they're not everything. Yeah.
Yeah, the day I killed, like I had the does come on, that triggered me to go sit in my stand.
Yeah.
But every single one of the deer I saw that night, not one of them triggered my camera.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like not one deer went past your camera.
And that was 12 deer in shooting range, but not one of them triggered the camera at my stand.
Yeah, it's a
100%.
It's a perfect point. Like they're good, they're useful. You can definitely try to gauge what bucks are in the area, and I personally like cameras a lot on transitions and scrapes. Like that's where I like them for whitetail. I want to see where they're cruising. I want to try to catch as many deer as I can, and mainly to gauge the rut. Are their heads down? Are they sniffing? Are they running? Like you can tell where they're at the stage of the rut per deer. Yeah. And then obviously scrapes, because you get good images of them, and you can, gauge a class of a deer. And
even like my camera was on a community scrape where like probably 12 trails joined into like one to cross a finger to go to the other drainage. And still, they were skirting around. They were taking different ways through.
Mm-hmm.
It was wild. I put that trail camera there, and I'm like, I'm gonna get so many pictures of deer, and they just never.
Nothing.
Once I actually observed how they were moving through that drainage, I'm like, wow! Like it actually really opened my eyes, because it's not how I envisioned them to do it. But thankfully, I was in a spot where how they were actually moving through that drainage, I was still able to capitalize on shot opportunities.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and dude, they could, this next week, your camera could be blowing up on that scrape, like, right? Because now they're all coming back to it, and the does are going to start hitting scrapes too that want to get bred. They're going to start coming and scent check them and laying theirs down. And like I had a doe come through today. Really mature doe. She's big. She was all up in the licking branch. She was all over the scrape. So, like, of course I can't hunt till Saturday, but I mean, it's just how it goes. By Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's probably going to be a buck on it, or she'll be back at it again, right? And that's where I like them for the knowledge reasons. You've got, 36-hour window that doe has to be bred, essentially, I think, or 12, but for 36, I think, is when she's letting out her smells and stuff. But
and she'll be bred multiple times too, right? Like it's not just a one and done.
No, there's gonna be bucks all over her for 36 hours.
That doe will get bred by probably 2, 3, 4, who knows, multiple bucks for sure.
Yeah. Exactly. And
actually on Wednesday, when I was getting ready to go sit in the stand, I actually saw a doe with like three different bucks. And the one buck ended up breeding her. Like I watched it happen through my rifle scope at like 300 yards, but he ended up breeding her, and I'm sure those other deer stuck around until they got their chance.
Of course. But yeah. Cool. I mean, 100%.
I'm having a hard time holding this one in.
What?
What's that?
I just Ludicrous popped in my hose. In my hose. Ludicrous just popped in my. Ludicrous just popped in my mind. I got those in different area codes.
You're just a rap star tonight. Oh boy.
I am, man. Oh,
I got those. That's funny.
sorry.
No, this is great. I love it. I
That's
love
funny.
it. I
But
love
yeah, no, I think
it.
big takeaway was like, for me, it was validating that was a couple things. It was validating that my e-scout, even though I know the bush, I had never really hunted, I guess, that particular portion very hard. It was always like on my mind that I wanted to go explore there. But I
Yeah,
really put the time in to like e-scout it, and I literally have a pin on my iHunter from like 6 months ago, and I literally hung my stand about 30 yards from that pin,
right.
Mm.
and that's where that's where the magic was happening. So it was validating that my ability to e-scout effectively, it played out well for me, I guess, and I can
Yeah.
take that skill set moving forward into different areas if I have to.
Yeah, it just built your confidence up, right?
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I
And it was
mean,
the first year I took with my hand loads too, which was pretty cool.
yeah, that's actually really cool. With the not shameless plug, Telson,
Oh,
beautiful optic.
dude. Yeah, I don't want to plug too much, but I've put probably, I don't know, I've walked that thing out to 600-700 yards, and was able to take that deer. I know it wasn't a long shot by any stretch, but I did even get to use, because it was starting to like that sun was kind of creeping over the big hill, because I was pretty low in the ravine. So I was able to use the illumination as well. That illuminated reticle was just fire. It was so good. They've got that dialed
Yep.
in really nicely.
Super fresh, super clean. Held ACC 15 for 15% off.
Not
Yeah.
plugging though.
Oh
But
no, I'm plugging. I'm definitely plugging. Yeah, that's a big plug.
I don't want to like. I mean, this is probably a separate podcast, but I want to say like that is an optic. The Arc with like 2.5 by 15 with like everything it has on it and the features it has, like that scope should be, that scope is punching well above its price point. Let's put it that way. For
Well,
what you're paying, you're not going to get. The competitors aren't putting scopes out at that price point with all the features that it has. And let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Well, and I've technically got the one step down from your scope, and it's the scorpion venom toxin. And that scope I find is incredible. So if yours is a step above it, yikes. And they're almost the same price point. And it's the same company, higher value in the Telson. I don't fully understand that yet. I'm still trying to put my head around it, but
Scorpion's just catered to the more average shooter, and then you can still touch into that fine tuning. Where Telson is like, it's high end, it's top notch, it's competitive shooting. Most guys probably wouldn't put the scope angle put on his gun for a hunting rifle. That's kind of how Jared explained it to me.
You have a Rolex.
So yeah, it's a step above, both and they just want to keep branching and expanding and growing and putting out, essentially better product for less money. Because they know that everybody's, hurting for money. Like, can't ignore the economy and still charge crazy prices, right? So I mean, they're just doing it right, and they're doing it in Canada. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, it's great, and the fact that we can give our listeners 15% off, and then 20%. Isn't 20% off on Scorpion?
20 off on Scorpion, yeah.
15 on Telson is it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's incredible. Super generous.
Yeah, it is. It really is, and it shows the character of their business too, right? Like, it's not like, and I'm not bashing other companies, but you know what I mean. It's it's not like the guy that's getting the product gets a sick deals, but the listener gets a 5% off. It's like, no, they're hooking up the listener, right? Like they want.
Well, you're not getting anything.
No, I don't get anything.
No,
Nothing.
we're just a bunch of dudes that believe in their stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, legit. I mean, I paid for my binos and rangefinder, which blows those binoculars, dude. They blow my mind. Like, I remember
when I used them at the range, I was really impressed.
Yeah,
like super impressed.
I know. Like you could, find stuff on paper. The 400-meter shots, you're seeing them hit the steel, and you got buddies with their big spotters on their big tripods, and we got these little binos. Boink, smoked it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the thing that impressed me the most about them is I wear glasses, and most binoculars, I cannot get a good viewpoint where I'm getting both tubes to line up nice without having to move it or take my glasses off. Like I can just put them up and it's there. And the second thing I love the most is when I started scouting breadcrumbs in the bow zone. I was driving by the one field and it's 20 minutes past legal. Like it's dark. Like you can barely see the deer in the field. We're just 100 yards away. And I put the binos up and it looked like I was at last light. Like I could see frame of this buck. Like
nice.
It's they pick up incredible light, super clear, super clean. Same thing with the rangefinder. Like when it starts getting dark, the reticle illuminates to red. So you're not searching for black lines.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to press a button to turn the red on. It just does it.
It just does it.
It senses the light. That's nice,
dude. There's the plug for Jared and Scorpion. I mean, I can't see, even if they weren't a part of the podcast, I can't see myself using anything else. I'm convinced. I'm bought in. So
yeah, no, they make great products, and I believe in their scopes, and hopefully sometime maybe in the near future I can get another rig and put a toxin on it, because I think that would be their 3x18 first focal plane sight. I think that would be pretty legit.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to put on the 270.
That'd be deadly.
Mm-hmm.
But
it would be. One last Scorpion plug. They make bow strings too. And these strings on my bow, first time ever, and I've bought gas. I've bought not like I'm just telling you, like I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying I bought the gas. I bought strings from other companies, private guys that, smaller companies. First string I've ever bought that I haven't had P-twist at all. None. It's in the exact same place it was. Super impressed by that too.
Yeah.
They make a really good string.
Yeah. Restringing your bow there, you could just tell they're pretty quality. And,
Just don't buy bright colors. Bright colors are fun, but I just learned that they have to throw so much dye into it that it actually makes the string bigger.
What's the discount on that? Because I need new strings.
Same thing, 20.
Held ACC 20?
Yeah. Yeah, Held ACC 20 is Scorpion, period. So whether that's optics or strings, doesn't matter.
Roger.
And Held ACC 15 for Telson, which is incredible for a high-end line, for sure. So. Well, that's sweet. Well, now that we just plugged that off, I've got trail cam pick. Well, I'm not saying buy, but I have trail cam picks I haven't opened yet. Breadcrumbs is sending me photos, so I'm hoping there's something happening there. So.
All my cameras have died.
What's that?
I said, "What about you, B?
What about me?
Give me the cold nights of your season thus far."
No, they're cold, so I'll give them to you. No, like about being raw and truthful and accountable and just having it being in your bones, like Ty's sick little intro. Um,
Hmm.
it's been a grind for me mentally. I don't mind sharing it because I mean maybe somebody else is going through it. I mean whatever, but not driving for so many years and like having the opportunity to hunt as much as I did and to be successful at it. Um, I think I showed so much more gratefulness and gratitude to my times and my opportunities. And now that it's like the whole tables have turned entirely, I think I've just built up such a big high expectation. And I've been fighting it. It's been a grind. I just kind of lost that fire in me for whatever reason.
Would it be fair to say? Would it be fair to say that like because you were grateful for the opportunities you had to hunt in years past,
yeah,
that the grind, the full, I'm looking big picture, 30,000 foot view here, that like you lost that, or sorry, what am I trying to say here? Because you were just grateful to get out and hunt, that you kind of lost that, what that grind actually is when it comes to hunt, like when it comes to whitetail hunting. You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, I do. Like I think that's a big part of it. Is like my wife said, it's almost like I had such a dopamine hit coming off of it.
Right.
Because I didn't know when the next time would be. I didn't know, even where I was going to hunt sometimes with landowner stuff like Ty talked about, landowner crap, permission, trail cameras being stolen, tree stands being taken down. Like
people beating you to the spot.
Yeah, I've been through the ringer, and like I think it was honestly giving me a dopamine hit that it was just like I just had to keep going. I just wanted to go, 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 go. Like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And now it's like everything's peaceful around me and I don't know what to do with it.
Right.
Well, not everything. It wasn't peaceful a week ago. But
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to talk. I do want to talk about it.
You have options now. You have more options than you've ever had.
Well, it's part of being part. It's like Engel said too. It's shifting the grind, right? Like even though it's peaceful, I still have to grind. Like I was grateful, like whatever that was pre-season. I think pre-opener. I was out scouting some crown land, kind of some little nugget stuff, and I won't say where it is because I do want to go check out that one quarter. But I was looking for it for Elijah and I. Trying to find just not easy. Hunting's not easy, but to give him the most opportunity of success. Like I don't want him to take a running shot or a shot through trees and brush or try to put him in a tree or any of those things that are gonna take away from him. I want to try to give him the most opportunity. And I was striking out. I had nowhere to take him, and that really bothered me because like emotionally when he said he wanted to hunt and then he just went to work, he grinded it out. He did his hunter training. He just pounded everything out. Like he was ready to go, and I didn't want to disappoint him. Right. And I had nothing. And then, so to your point, that grind, I remember like I was fired up back then, like even 2-3 weeks ago, I was pretty fired up. I just somehow lost it recently, but, I just super fortunate. I just started kind of spam messaging, reaching out to, leaseholders and stuff. And I got a bite. He was like another 30 minutes from where I was, which is like an hour from home, which was a little further than I wanted to go with him.
Yeah.
But whatever. I ripped up there, threw some cams out. And I mean, it didn't disappoint. But in saying that too, like, I guess we could also build up on the point of Ty's boots on the ground to how you look at Onyx. I do a lot of the Onyx stuff too. So as soon as I got this permission, I was on it, and it's like, okay, where are my key points? I'm going to go look right now, and I'm going to go hang cameras, and I did that, and I mean, that's the high notes. There's been some smokers. I've posted a few of them on Instagram. There's been some really, really good bucks coming through there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my cold notes is it's been cold. This last weekend, just whatever Sunday. Yeah, the bow zone's been a grind. It's been frustrating too. But yeah, Sunday I wasn't even going to go out. The only reason I did, and I'm not gonna deny it, was just because cameras needed batteries. That's the only thing that motivated me to go. So yeah, Sunday I went out, changed. Well, I'll back up. I went a different way. I went further. There's 5 quarters, and I went further north than I've gone. It's pretty hard to scout a full 5 quarters. In a day or two. Like that's there's a lot of land there. There's a lot of little pockets that a guy can miss super easily. Which I did, and that proves the point as well, to boots on the ground, because you can focus in on your little area, and then you could be missing out at the, you could be getting the pie, but you're missing the cream, right? Like you could,
Sure.
And yeah. So anyways, not that it matters what direction I went, but I pushed north, and I wanted to go check out the private boundary and just see what it looked like, and stopped and took a pee and had deer blowing at me, and it was the most deer sign I've seen. And it's like, okay, I had a little bit of a fire back in me. I'm like, okay, right on. This is more of a home base for deer in general. So I was like, okay, this is good. And then I decided to go and get my wise eye. Or I was going to go get my wise eye and bring it up there. Found this massive, massive community scrape. Like this thing was soaked. Like it looked like somebody poured liters of water into this thing. And I was like, oh baby. Like this is a whitetail hunter's dream right here, is to find one of these that's just drenched. But it's 2 kilometers away from my camera. So by the time I got to my camera, I did not want to walk back. But I mean, it's there. It's in my head. It's in my notes now, and it's a spot with the right wind. I could go and sit that one line, and there's a little bit of a clearing I could potentially go sit to. But yeah, for me, and then I went to I call it my mocktail scrape. It's my own scrape that I made that bucks have been hitting, which is exciting. A doe just hit it too. So, I mean, maybe I can turn that into a community scrape in a year or something like that. But, went and changed batteries there. Kind of walked up on the top. It's kind of benchy, like what you're not as deep as what you're talking about, Ingle, but lots of rolling hills, lots of ridges, lots of low spots.
Yeah.
And I just perched myself up against a pine tree and ended up falling asleep. just catching Z's. And I mean, and knowing, I guess an emphasis too is knowing the area you hunt is important. Knowing even like, is it grass? Is it leaves? Is there sticks? Is there snow? Stuff like that is it seems like meaningless information, but it's very, very, very important. Because as I'm sleeping, I hear feet in snow. Well, the only spot there's still snow is on the north side of this ridge, right by my scrape.
Right.
And I open my eyes and I just catch this buck cruising. And didn't see what he was, and he was gone before I knew it. So, of course, I'm still kind of down. I'm not feeling too great about hunting in general. So I'm mad at myself. Oh, yeah, you freaking dummy. You fall asleep. And look, there's your opportunity. Way to go. Like, just here, let's just kick yourself down deeper. Put the nail in the coffin, close it. So, just my worst critic. No cell service to complain to anybody. So I had to sit there and kind of wallow in it, and then I was like, well, no, hang on, like there's more ridges like that. I don't know what he was, but that buck could be back. He might go cruise west, hit a couple of those ridges, and he could bomb straight down to my scrape. Like, I don't know, you never know. So I just woke up a bit and He was a little more alert. I actually put a shell in the gun. That'd be a good start. Thought that would be a good thing to do. And then, yeah, kind of just weird intuition. Like 20 minutes later, in this wide open pasture of rolling hills where deer typically shouldn't be, I just look and I catch this buck cruising, and he's disappearing behind these little ripples, and binos up, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, that's a buck, but he didn't look big. And then he just, it's like he knew I was there, but didn't. But he's like, I'm going to stop and stare at you while you're staring at me through your binoculars. Classic. And he was one of the deer that's been on my camera. Really nice 4-point, big brows, and he's got a split G2. And then it's like, oh, this is like, it's go time. Like, freaking get ready. So I tried to turn. It's on my offside. Tried to turn. By the time I got the gun on him, forgot my shooting sticks at home too. That was another downer moment. But by the time I turned and got on him, he was just inside the trees, and I'm not about just making fluky shots and just trying to hit him. So let him walk, just let it kind of walk, let him go, and hung out for the rest of the night. And that was kind of that. And then I think it was the next day. Yeah, the next morning, right? We're on Tuesday already. Yeah, it was only Monday yesterday.
That was only Monday, yeah.
Yeah, got a picture cruising my other camera, an absolute smoker. So
yeah,
that fired me up. I think he's like that 180 class kind of deer. So
I think that's the biggest deer any of us have on camera.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a little blurry, but yeah, that frame, like, it looks like he's got ladders on his head. So
gotta call Stanley.
Yeah. So that's just kind of where I'm at. And then I got the bow zone. It's just a small chunk, deer coming in and out of it. Had a really big muley pushing some does through the field, much too far out of range and permission, but that was exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's just kind of what I'm doing. It's just like, just mentally got to stay on the grind, mentally grind it out, and just be patient. Know that the next week and the week after are my favorite weeks.
You just got to keep in mind yourself, like, this is the time of year where, like, it doesn't matter if that deer went to permission piece. He could be back in 5 minutes. Like, it's
I know. Like, he could just make a left hook and he's right back.
Yeah, like, this is, like, whitetail hunting isn't physical. It can be if you want to make it, but, like, it's just mentally.
It's mental grind.
It's mental warfare. It's
what it is. Mental warfare.
That's the only way I can put it. Like, you can't let your thoughts take over when you're like sitting on a stand and being like, wow, maybe I should just like leave and do something else. Like,
no, literally at any moment. Like, I had 2 deer cruise past me, one at 330 and one at 350. 2 different deer, and I know they're different because my camera sent me pictures of that deer coming onto that ridge a couple hundred yards away.
Right.
So I knew it was him. And proof to the pudding again, trail cameras aren't everything. Yep. I got a trail camera right there 75 yards away from where he was, and he was nowhere near it. And I could think that the camera's dead and nothing's going on, and this buck was cruising that ridge. And there could be four other bucks could have cruised that ridge all night. Like, sure. So.
And also I wanted to say, a big reaffirmation for me is 10-2.
Yeah, I still love that time and forget about that time.
I learned that.
Was 10-2 is like, you know, I see it. I'll be honest. There's a few days where I just didn't sit. Like, I wasn't. You know, I had like my wife and kids were still home, and my daughter was sick. So like, there was a few days where I didn't get out till like 11.
Mm-hmm.
But like driving to my spot, I would see hunters just cruising the roads because it's midday.
I know. It's like they just pack it in.
They just don't freaking get it. Like, that is the time.
No,
like I would rather skip. This is going to be, maybe this is controversial, I don't know, but I would skip first and last light and just hunt from 10 to 3 every day.
Yeah, I would
I
take
would
it too.
I would almost even say, like, for me, 11 till close.
Yeah, I mean, in that pocket, the afternoon is just a magic hour, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's
Even my trail cameras, all my bucks, and I would say probably 90% of all the movement I captured on that camera near my stand where I shot my whitetail this year. I got movement between 9:45 and 4 o'clock.
But we should know too. We're talking like wooded land, like not necessarily deep woods, crazy all crown, but bush deer.
It's bush deer.
If you have bush adjacent to even farmland, those deer are going to be moving. They're going to be on their feet, scent checking all afternoon. The does will bed down. They'll get up and they'll walk downwind of scrapes. They'll walk downwind of bedding zones.
Yeah.
They'll walk the ridges.
And that's the point. Where are the does?
Yeah.
They're bedded. Well, why would a buck go in bed? Not right. That's the time to go look for them.
Yeah.
And I would even say too, like, I don't even think this is just pertains to bush deer. Like, our farm piece that we have here, our 120 acres, it rings true here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not like a morning and an evening hunt and you chill for the afternoon. No, like, it's 10 to 2. Sneak into their house, and you'll see action from 10 to 2 all day, every day.
I was listening to a podcast the other day when I was cutting line, and they really emphasized, and this makes sense to me in what I saw this year, is they really emphasized that a large majority of bucks will actually scent check scrapes from 20 yards out downwind.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that.
So
they don't even need to touch them. They'll just sniff it quick and keep going.
They'll go downwind of it, and if they smell something and they want to disturb it and put their own scent in it, they will. If it doesn't have a new scent to it or something different than they're used to, they'll just keep going.
That makes sense to me.
100%. Yeah, that's good. Well, and old John Dudley, he's posting all these whitetail tips, and his was one of that big one was when you're hungry and you didn't see nothing, you want to climb out of the stand, don't. Stay midday. It's the best time to kill a big deer.
Yeah.
Mental warfare.
Mental warfare.
Yep.
Mental warfare. I will win.
Who has the most will to just sit and gut it out?
That's true.
That's what it comes down to.
No, I'm glad we're talking about it. It's encouraging to me because now I'm just reflecting even on the old Buzz story, man. We put in some long sits and freezing cold.
Oh,
so
I couldn't have done what you did last year, B.
6.5 hours minus 32 without the wind.
No, it was minus 12 where I was the one morning. I was contemplating life.
I think this also, like, that's a good topic though. Like what you think is warmth, and I get a kick. I don't own a ton of like insulated pieces from like KUIU and whatnot, but like, what is insulation for? KUIU is geared towards, I mean, I know they have some they have some products now that are geared towards like low activity hunts, like stand hunting, etc.
Yeah.
But I remember back in the day, like, they didn't have that. And like, you have to be really cognizant in order to gut out a November whitetail hunt. You have to have the right sorry, I should say this. To have to sit all day without moving, you have to have the right piece of outerwear or right layering system to do that. Like, especially when the temperatures get like minus 15, 20. Like, you just have to.
It's layers, man. You have to have layers because I sweat too easy. So I walk in pretty much long johns, and then I gear up at the base of the tree.
Yeah,
And even sometimes climbing the tree, I get too warm. So I've gotten really good at taking my boots off in my stand, everything, putting my bibs on. I'll pack it all in, and I'll get dressed in my tree after I've cooled down.
You know, there's no point in having a $3,000 gun with a $4,000 scope if you can't cut the mustard in the bush.
Yeah,
in the
100%.
elements.
Amen.
Invest your money in boots and clothing.
Yeah, I take clothing in a $400 rifle package, but I take the clothing over the gun.
100%.
Yeah,
I've got great layers. Like I've got the First Light Furnace Merinos, and they're incredible. But I have terrible circulation in my feet, and I've got like the big -50 boots, and I've done heated socks, but then and I put the sticky thermal pads, toe warmers. But problem with that is then I sweat, and then when they die out, then I'm really toast.
Yeah. I fight with that too.
So I struggle immensely with my hands and my feet with circulation. But like when I'm working, I've always struggled because like when I work in just like 200-gram thin slate normal work boots all winter. But that's because I'm always moving.
You're moving.
Are your boots oversized or no?
My big winters are, yeah.
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 Yeah, you need room for airflow.
They're basically like I could probably put them in a snowboard bindings and go snowboarding. They're like they're these giant -50 things. And I wore them in my stand the day I killed my buck, and it was like -6. And I remember my toes were getting cold, and they're like -50 rated boots. And it's just because I'm not moving and I don't have the greatest circulation. So
you might have to get -100 rated boots.
Well,
yeah. -1,000 Russian made.
Yeah, Amazon doesn't ship from the sun yet, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
But
maybe by 2030.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, that's sick. Those are good extras added in. Maybe we'll leave the rest for when I kill one.
You're gonna have some. I'm confident you're gonna have your moments. You're gonna have your opportunity.
Yeah, I'm not down and out. I don't think it's not gonna happen. It's just mental struggle. That's all.
You've always been a last minute guy.
It's true.
Last cast. 5 more minutes.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, my very first deer I ever killed. Quick little fun fact about last minute. I got off work. I had an hour and a half until end of legal light. I had a 45-minute drive, and I was going to be home in like 10 minutes. So that's like 55 minutes. So that's like, what, 20 minutes-ish? To hunt?
Yeah.
And it would take me 5 minutes to get in there. And I did it. I drove all that way, ran to my stand. I blew a deer out. I thought the hunt was over. Last 5 minutes of light, I heard the feet, saw the bachelor group of bucks, and he came under my tree and I killed him. So, like, yeah, I definitely, I don't quit, that's for sure. But no, I don't think it's not going to happen. Just personal battles and whatnot. But I still feel confident. I think I'm gonna take a good buck out of the bow zones. I think that's still going to happen. And rifle, my spot there is, I'm feeling pretty good about that too. So
we wait 351 days a year for these next 2 weeks.
I know. Like, why would we quit?
Gotta send it, buddy. Gotta send it.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Team Rando.
Team Brando, get on the board.
Get on.
Let's go.
Gotta get on the board. All right, boys. This is good.
You know, that's got a good ring to it. Let's go, Brando.
Yeah, I think I've heard that somewhere.
Hockey?
Was that during the Trump rallies?
Let's go, Brando.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Ty?
I don't know.
Oh,
No.
Joe Biden. And it was F Joe Biden, and then he heard it, and then he turned it into Let's Go Brandon.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not even joking.
Podcast political boys, come on, man.
But that's where it came from. Like, let's go, Brandon. And it was F Joe Biden. And Joe Biden's like, oh, they're chanting, let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, woo. Everybody do the wave.
Was that a NASCAR race or something like that, I think, or a football game? I don't know. Something American.
That's funny.
Well, no, that one's already been taken. Can't use it, but. No, it's good, fellas. Well, it looks like Ty has a closure for us here. So, since he's got the rut wrap in the beginning, we'll see what he's got to close this sucker off.
Y'all ready?
Ready for it.
Well, friends, family, and foes. Oh yeah, let's not forget about those who shoot the does. Thank you for making it this far. Unfortunately, it's come to a close. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. I just dropped my mic.
Oh, mic drop.
Yeah. Well, I had two.
All right, let's hear the other one too.
Well, you've made it this far, and it's come to an end. We hope you've learned that you know what's around the next bend.
Mm-hmm.
So get out there and scout. Soon enough, you'll know what it's all about. Put in your time if you're able, and always remember to hold yourself and others accountable.
Oh yeah, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that's good. All right, well, you have a new job that I'm not paying you for. Thank you. And
You betcha.
Right on, fellas. Let's get some sleep. It's a late one.
Yep.
It's a good one. Appreciate it. And we'll talk again.
You bet.
Cheers.
Later.
Cheers.